say from all of us here, welcome to the team. We define leadership as the behavior or communication that guides, directs, influences, or controls a group. You just got hired because, hey, get off your phone! You've just got hired because you are honest, intelligent, inspiring, and imaginative, all of which are key characteristics to a good leader. Functional perspective examines leadership as behaviors that can be performed by anyone in the group to maximize effectiveness. Here at CLA, we train and produce future leaders of America. We also expand every day. Throughout this video, we will be training you to develop skills to become an effective leader. Also,
what's going on, boss?
We are filming right now.
Sorry.
But always enough time for a coworker, you know.
Real quick, I just want to know if I could get tomorrow off.
Yes, you do have some assignments and some work to do, but as long as you promise to do it effectively and get it done the next day, then we can work something out.
Alright, perfect. Sounds good.
Thanks,
boss.
Alright. Anyway, also, we will conduct various simulations or structured exercises that create conditions that you might confront outside the training environment. Now some of our employees will teach you a few leadership styles you can use, such as authoritarian, democratic, laissez-faire, and primal. Here's one of our employees now. Ryan, he will be teaching you about authoritarian leader.
Nothing! Get back in the house! Of course. How selfish of me. Let's do all the things that you want to do.
Authoritarian leaders, also known as autocratic, they assume positions of intellectual and behavior superiority in groups. They also make decisions, give orders, and generally control all activities. These kinds of leaders make all determination of policy.
These leader dictates techniques and activity steps one at a time, so group members are always largely uncertain of future steps. They also dictate work tasks and work companion for each member. Leader tends to be personal in praise and criticism of each member's work, remains aloof from active group participation except when demonstrating. Authoritarian leaders make decisions independently with little or no input from the rest of the group. Researchers found that decision-making was less creative under authoritarian leadership. Authoritarian leadership is best applied to situations where there is little time for group decision-making or where the leader is the most knowledgeable member of the group.
Some advantages for this leadership style would be reduced stress due to increased control,
A more productive group while the leader is watching, improved logistics of operations, and faster decision-making.
One of the disadvantages of authoritarian leadership is short-termistic approach to management, manager perceived as having poor leadership skills, increased workload for the manager, people dislike being ordered around, teams become dependent upon their leader. Did you have a question? That's a really good question, Josh. This style is most effective during short-term projects with highly technical, complex, or risky elements. Also,
Work environments where spans of control are wide and hence the manager has little time to devote to each employee. Industries where employees need to perform low-skilled and repetitive tasks and generally have low levels of motivation. Projects where the work performed needs to be completed to exact specifications and or with a tight deadline. And companies that suffer from a high employee turnover, where time and resources devoted to leadership development would be largely wasted, although one could argue that a lack of leadership development in the first place caused the high turnover. Some of the other leadership styles that are similar to authoritarian leader is transactional leadership, whereas people are motivated by reward and punishment. Another leadership style similar to authoritarian is the telling style from Hershey and Blanchard's situational model. It's extremely directed, giving the specific task direction and closely supervised work. This is a high task, low relationship style.
I can't wait till summer. I'm so excited. I know, we're gonna go to the beach.
Excuse me, Janelle. Your lunch break is over. Would you like to come talk to the people about democratic leadership?
Fine, yeah, I guess.
Awesome.
Democratic leadership style favors decision-making by the group, such as the leader gives instruction after consulting the group. Some pros of democratic leadership are they have faith within the group. It's a positive work environment and higher productivity among the group members. Some cons of democratic leadership are sometimes the group members can perceive democratic leaders as insecure or not being able to make a decision. If the democratic leader doesn't have good communication within the group, this could lead lack of knowledge. They want everyone in the group member to have a voice of opinion.
You know what? I have a great idea. Why don't you stay and talk to us about laissez-faire leadership?
Okay.
Maybe I should work on my image. Don't know what the problem is then.
Is it fair leaders see themselves as no better or no worse than other group members? They also assume the group will direct itself. Some pros would be maximum delegation, has more time for other things, and also seen as empowering his or her staff. Some cons would be time-consuming and also decision made usually screwed away from company leaders. Laissez-faire is most effective when the team has achieved identity and cohesion, resulting in motivated and resourceful team members. Laissez-faire leaders get their job done through others. They also pay very little attention to the progress and they don't interfere.
Our last leadership style we'll be discussing is primal leadership, brought to you by Deanne.
You've got too far, and I'm going to stay right here and fight for this lost cause.
The day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I'm not saying it's going to be easy.
You're going to work harder than you've ever worked before.
But that's fine, we'll just get tougher with it.
If a person grits his teeth and shows real determination,
Failure is not an option. That's how winning is done.
Believe me when I say
We can break this army here.
And win just one for the giver.
But I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time, you've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
if you would be free men, then you must
Fight to fulfill that promise. Let us cut out their living guts
1 inch at a time.
and they will know what we can do!
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
You're like a big bear, man.
This is your time. Seize the day.
Never surrender. Victory or death.
Watch the Chicago.
Who's with me?
Clap! Clap! Number 9, clap!
All right, let's fly. And gentlemen in England, now beg, shall know my name is the Lord. But I tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our Independence Day.
will work as well as it could or should. Do you have a question?
Yeah. What does it take to be a primal leader?
That's an interesting question. It takes emotional self-awareness, reading one's own emotions and recognizing their impact using gut and sense to guide decisions. It also takes accurate self-assessment, knowing one's own strengths and limits. Self-confidence, a sound sense of one's worth and capabilities. Emotional self-control, keeping disruptive emotions and impulses under control. Transparency, displaying honesty and integrity. Trustworthiness. Adaptability, it also takes adaptability. Flexibility in adapting to changing situations and overcoming obstacles. And it takes achievement, the drive to improve performance to meet inner standards of excellence. It takes initiative, readiness to act and seize opportunities, and optimism, seeing the upside in events. Pros to primal leadership on a personal level are that we learn the capabilities that determine how we manage ourselves, self-awareness, and self-management. On a social level, we learn the capabilities that determine how we manage relationships, social awareness, and relationship management.
Now that you have the knowledge and experience, go out there and climb the ladders of success. And remember, we only train the best, so don't let us down.